Okay, moving on. So, who is your favorite school to compete against? And it could be California, San Diego.
Um, I liked when we had a rivalry with Morris because of just it's a community game. And even though we won the games, they were never blowouts. You know what I mean? There was always the level would always rise when you play against a rivalry.
Oh yeah.
And so that's a community game, and that's always been a rival game, and it always carried a lot of hype, but everybody played extremely well, extremely hard in those games. The Madison game has picked up some steam over the past couple of years. That's a good solid game to play in as well.
Agree. I agree. And the funny thing about the Morris versus Lincoln is you're a graduate from Morris,
Yes, indeed.
but you're over here at Lincoln coaching and building up your reputation here. How do you feel about that?
Oh man, I get a bunch of flack about that all the
Yeah?
time. Yeah, some of the alumni here, especially Saladin Martin, man, he be on me, man. They got a Morris guy coaching Lincoln, you know. But at the end of the day, they know. He said, but at the end of the day, I'm a Southeast community guy.
At the end of the day, yeah.
You know, I was born and raised in the neighborhood, and you know, I'm always going to pull for our neighborhood teams. And so the head coach of Morris, Tracy McNair, we're best friends. I'm his son's godfather. He's my son's godfather.
Wow.
Our relationship goes real deep. He got me into coaching high school football.
Wow.
You know, so there's a respect there that that's going to last forever. And we both want to continue building up the teams in the neighborhood.
Yeah. I'm hoping the game can kind of get back on track.
That would be huge. That would be huge because what we did was we took what everyone deemed as negative by calling that game the Ghetto Bowl. You know, it was the Ghetto Bowl, so all the hype surrounding that was pretty negative. You know, so when we got together, both as head coaches, we said, hey, community, we changed the name of it to the Unity Bowl.
I like that.
And what we did was we got together on Thursday. We had dinner together, and it was we sat at the table. It was Morris, Lincoln, Morris, Lincoln, Morris, Lincoln, as far as players and coaches. I mean, we had good music, we had good food, we had fellowship together, and it showed our unity. And we come out on the next day and we played the game, and it was always a good, hard-fought game, very physical. But at the end of before the game, we acknowledged each other before the game, and after the game, we always came together and prayed together.
That's good.
So that Unity Bowl was big for the community, and it showed a lot that we're not against one another. You know what I mean? We can compete at a high level, have fun at doing it, and you know, there doesn't have to be any drama, nothing ghetto about it. Just about our families, our people, and our community getting together and having fun and enjoying great competition.
Yeah, it sounds like healthy competition, to be honest. I mean, these kids they've grown up with each other, played against each other in different leagues and stuff. Now a chance to play each other on the high school level, man.
And it went so deep with that, man. I mean, it was even in 7-on-7. We see each other, we run into each other in tournaments and stuff like that. If they were playing and we weren't, we would go on their sideline and support them.
Oh.
And the same thing, if we were playing and they were not, you know, they came on the side and supported us. So that was very big for the community. It's really sad that we don't have that game anymore.
Well, this is us just putting out just good energy into the universe and hoping that we can someday bring that back ASAP, to be honest.
Yes, indeed.
Another question. We're almost done here. This is from George McCorley, a former receiver here at Lincoln. He wants to know, what is the best part of your job?
The best part is watching the kids grow. You know, they come in, everyone's kind of scattered. They don't really know what they want to do and things like that. But I take the initiative to sit down with every student, ask them, what do you want out of this? You know, what's your goal out of this? You can see if it's realistic, what you're putting into it. Are you doing enough for it? Are you willing to get pushed towards it? And for me, my thing is if you tell me what you want, don't get mad at me for pushing you to that. So that's the thing. If you tell me you want to do this, you want to do that, and you want to be great, and you want to maintain a 3.5 GPA, a 4.0, I'm going to hold you to that. I'm never going to forget the conversation that we have. You know, so I love to see the kids grow and become the student athletes that we know they can become.
Yeah, Must be a really nice process to watch.
It is. It is.
Moving on to the next question. Who is your favorite NFL team you've played for? You got 3. You got the Bengals, the Raiders.
I got 4 actually.
Like 4? Okay.
Yeah. Was drafted by the Bengals in '95. So I'm always going to be partial to the Bengals because they're the one who gave me my chance in the NFL.
Makes sense.
I had fun there. Met good friends, long-term friends there. Pittsburgh Steelers. It was different. I was there for a year. Great organization. Great organization. Had fun there as well. Then the Cleveland Browns was my brief stint.
Really?
Yeah, I had a brief stint with Cleveland. And that's when they were just coming back. They went out for a couple of years and they brought them back. And so I had a brief stint there and it was okay. But the Oakland Raiders is where I felt at home.
Yeah, California.
Yeah, back in California. Finally got out of that cold weather.
Training camp is probably somewhere up there in the Bay too, right?
Training camp was up in Napa, wine country.
Family coming out.
Yeah, so it was a
like
lot closer from my family.
The Black Hole, the stadium.
I just love the fact, man. They just, the Raiders was grimy, man. I mean,
yeah, around that time too.
Yeah, it was. You talking about Oakland, and you got E40, man. And, up there, popping collars and having a great time,
all that
man.
stuff.
Oh man, I had a ball out there because it was a team that just allowed you to be you. Everyone looks at the Raiders. It's like they'll give everybody a chance to come through there, but they're giving you a chance to be you. We gelled together and had a great time out in Oakland. I met some great friends out there. I know Charles Wilson, Andre Rison, and the late Darrell Russell, Eric Allen, some great ballers out there, man, and we had a great time. I really felt at home in Oakland.
Okay. So next question. What was your favorite game at Fresno State?
Man.
2 years at Fresno State after JUCO, right?
Yeah.
2 years Fresno State.
So it was. Well, playing against San Diego State was always a big time rivalry. Playing against Marshall Falk and Darnay Scott.
Darnay Scott from San Diego, right?
Yeah, yes indeed. So that was always a huge rivalry. Daryl Lewis, who played with me at Morris High School, also was on that squad. I know a lot of players there that was on the team. So that was always a solid game for us. I remember Marshall Falk. He was killing it, man. He was running over everybody, and our whole mission was to stop him. I think we held him to under 30 yards rushing.
What? Marshall Falk under 30. Shout out to the defense.
Then this dude goes for 200 receiving.
Oh man, never mind. He didn't stop him. You slowed him down as a running back.
We slowed him down, man. But we had Ron Rivers and Anthony Diego and Trent Dilfer was my quarterback, and Charlie Jones and all the receivers there, man. We won the game. We did our part. We won the game still.
Yeah, at the end of the day.
But that was always a tough game.
Yeah, and now you've got players at Fresno State and players at San Diego State.
Yes.
So then they're going to play each other consistently, depending
indeed.
on what's up with the conferences, and they switch it up. But
Yes,
dang, that's another full circle moment.
Then a bowl game, we actually we flew out to the. It was called the. We played on Christmas Day. I think it was called the Aloha Bowl at the time.
Aloha Bowl.
And played against Colorado when their whole team got drafted. They had Slash, they had Rashawn Salam, they had
Rashad Salam,
everybody was on there. Cordell Stewart, everybody was on this team. And we flew out there and played them on Christmas Day. So they told me on the plane that I had to play tight end. Yeah, you're going to play tight end this game, and we had a couple of guys down. I'm freaking out. I'm like, okay, let's go. And the first half, man, I killed Colorado. I think I had 10 or 12 catches, man, 180-something yards. I was like, oh, this is it's like taking candy from a baby, man. This is easy. On the flip side, I had to block as well as a tight end. And like I said, everybody got drafted. So I had 2 tackles on offense, and that came from me getting knocked back into the running back, knocking the running back down. But that game was real hyped, man. It was different. And it was, of course, it was the only game on TV. It was Christmas
Oh,
morning.
really?
Everybody had to watch it.
Yeah.
So I showed out for the first half. You know, they didn't throw me the ball not one time in the second half.
Really?
I still got to ask Trent Dilfer about that, man.
Oh, man.
I needed 2 more catches to break the record.
Man.
Yeah.
Dang, 2 more catches, man. Trent, come on.
Yes, indeed.
Was Trent Dilfer, was he a Heisman candidate that year?
He was a Heisman candidate.
He was a Heisman candidate. Did he end up getting into the finals, or he was just a candidate?
He was in the finals. I mean, he went. I believe he didn't throw an interception. He threw an interception the first game of the season, and he went like 300 attempts without another pick until like the last game of the season, man. So Trent did an excellent job, man. He was one hell of a quarterback in college
And then
in the pros.
Salam, the guy from San Diego, did he already have won the Heisman at that point, or before the game, or?
I think he won it the following year.
Following year, okay.
Yeah.
That shows you the talent level on the field, and I mean, who was out there, and yourself as well being a draft pick. Okay, 3 more questions. So, what is the story behind the nickname of the Factory? The nickname, what they call Lincoln High School.
The Factory. Jason Carter, my
Carter.
assistant head coach and OC. He just brought it out there one day, man, because I'm like, I don't keep a lot of stats, but they keep track of everything that's going on. He was like, man, you realize that we've put out over 54 kids in college over the past 4.5 years or 5 years, and I was like, again, how many? I'm like, okay, you got 12 and 15 and 10 this year, and I mean, it just kept going and going, and I'm like, wow. And he was like, yeah, man, we the Factory.
Basically, you're producing.
We're producing. We're producing big time. So that kind of stuck with us, and that's where everybody kind of, everyone sees it themselves now. They're like, hey, they are getting guys out.
Yeah.
We have 5 guys signed this early period, and we'll have 7 that signed the second. There's 12 guys again. That's going to
just boom like that. Man, that's crazy. That's crazy. And the thing about it, too, is that it's not always a football scholarship, too. You got guys applying for...
Well, yeah, we got high academic scholarships as well, but we're just counting the football ones.
Oh, those are just football. I thought it was included. Dang.
That's just football alone. I haven't even, when we add in, that's something I'm bad at. I got to get better.
They'll remind you.
My goal for our kids when they come in here is this. I said, if we can build... and this is my first thing I said in my interview, and this is what I believe. We can build champions in their minds, bodies, and souls, get them to understand. If we can build them up as champions, the championships will follow. And that's how we operate. And so I asked for a 3.1 GPA, asked for a 3.1 GPA at least. From our varsity players, and our kids work really hard. We're averaging 3.1, 3.2 GPA. They start to get it, so I know that being in the inner city program, that's at least going to get you accepted in the 5 schools, and that's our goal. We're going to get accepted to 5 schools, whether it's football or not.
I like that.
And so this kind of changed the thought of what people think of Lincoln High School.
Yeah.
All the scouts come through here, and they like. The biggest problem was when I was first here was, where the kids going to have the academics? So I pushed that extremely hard, and they're responding. Once they realize, hey, I can do this, 3.0. Now they want a 3.3. They want a 3.5. They get a 3.5. Coach, I hit a 4.0 for the first time in my life, and they get it. And they don't want to let it go, and it's so inspiring because now, like I just got a text from Jaleel Tucker up at Oregon, who came in. He was struggling when he came in. He had a 1.87 GPA, and he don't mind me talking about it because he left here with a 3.0 GPA, and he just contacted me from Oregon. He finished his first semester with a 3.0 GPA still.
Oh man!
So he didn't tell me nothing about football.
Or track.
Exactly. And that happens with a lot of our kids. Keyshawn Smith, when he was at Miami, he's honor roll. Don Chapman, honor roll. All academic team and stuff like that. So that makes me even more proud as a coach to know that they're still taking it serious and they're still maintaining that GPA.
Yeah, man, it's a blessing. I can't even put it into words about just the knowledge you're giving these young kids, you know what I mean? And they're growing up and they still haven't instilled in them. And then things are coming full circle to you and, you know what I mean, receiving information, for example, like that text you just got, has to be humbling, has to also make you hungry to just keep on doing what you're doing.
Well, it is letting me know that I'm doing the right thing. You know, that was one of my issues. So I'll stay on top of them academically to make sure that they know that, hey, 62 scouts coming through here in the springtime. The first question I'm going to ask you when you walk in that door is how's your grades looking?
Grades, yeah.
Who's going to have the highest GPA? That's how we're going to start the conversation.
That's the deal breaker. That's the deal breaker. We got 2 questions from Kayvon Brown, another former player of yours. He wants to know what's been the greatest moment as being the head coach of Lincoln High football.
Well,
so many.
Yeah, it's winning the CIF, but then also, you know, the state run was huge. The way the kids just continue to fall and how this whole thing kind of came full circle. You know, being able to come into this season and compete at such a high level after losing so many kids last year was huge. And to watch how the kids they never quit. And that's one thing that we've been, you know, from the Pootie question, Dunn, Pleasant, on down, the kids do not quit. And they fought hard. They didn't beat themselves. And even in a couple of games where we were behind because we were beating ourselves. And I think now we got to the point where we're not allowing that to happen to where we're gonna finish, and we showed that this season.
Yeah, a lot of perseverance. And the last question I've got for you is, from Kayvon Brown again. Why did you decide to stay at Lincoln and not go for a college job or a pro job?
It's a purpose. You know, a friend of mine, mentor, was asking me, what is my why? What's my motivation? And I had a lot of things going on in my personal life early when I stopped playing football. You have your ups and downs. You're kind of lost, trying to figure it out. And, you know, Tracy McNair from Morris goes, hey, come on, coach with me over at Crawford at the time. And I got out there, man, and I just instantly fell in love with the fact that I could inspire kids and I could teach them the right way. But then I also can share the ups and downs and knowledge that I have to help them have a chance to experience some of the same things that I experienced. You know, have a better high school career, have a chance to go off to college, whether it's football or not, but just have a chance to be successful. And with Kayvon and those guys, man, they showed me a lot. You know, Kayvon's is a good question. Kayvon's dad originally didn't want him to come here, and he had to maintain a 3.5, 3.7 GPA if he was going to go here. So he maintained a 4.0.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, that's my dog.
He never missed a meeting. He never missed anything. You know, his parents used to be like, man, you know, we vacation the whole night. He said, no, I'm gonna stay at Coach Dunn's house. I can't miss it. You know, I love the way that what he put into football, what he put in the game, and then how he excelled academically, which made my son and others around him excel as well. You know, so what made me continue to stay here is seeing the growth and having the support and stability. You know, in college, there's not a lot of stability. Neither is in the pros.
Yeah.
You know, you bounce around different teams every other year, the whole nine. I didn't want to do that. Put my family through that. I felt, you know, my purpose. I felt different when I came here, and my purpose has been to lead in a positive way, and everything is coming full circle. You know, so I feel that I'm doing that not only on the football field, but I'm staying true to building champions here and here, and like I said, those will follow.
I agree, and you're doing a real good job of doing it, and the community thinks so as well. I mean, look at that award right there on the table. Well, that wraps it up for the quick hitters. Coach David Dunn, 5th round draft pick, 3-time CIF champion, 2-time Southern champion, Southern California champion, and recently state champion. We'll see you guys soon. Full interview coming out soon. Peace.